Hello, everybody. My name is Thomas Barrell. I'm responsible for the news solution inside Dalet Galaxy, and I want to spend 15 minutes or so with you to give you an update what we at Dalet are doing in regard of the news solution. So up front, I want to put your attention to a couple of challenges that we see in the news market. I picked 4 of them. First, the media disruption caused by social media, meaning that the millennial generation has a change of their consumption behavior, is going stronger and stronger. And our answer to this challenge at Dalet is that we unified the traditional newsroom together with a social newsroom in one solution in such a way that the journalists are in control whether they have to cater the needs of the traditional broadcast or the needs for publishing on social media in one tool. Then, ever growing stronger and stronger, the demand for collaboration across the teams. I want to pick here 3 samples that we highlight at this show. We interconnect the mobile tools with the stationary tools using a newsroom Skype-like chat that allows you to link assets, but not just media or scripts. You can link and send to your colleagues entire rundowns or media collections. Then we have a compelling remote editing solution that we show at our booth in the demos. And we implemented a new media collection bin for stories that we call Media Bin, where all the teams can collaborate and share and work with together. Then you all need to go faster at scale. We leverage the underlying platform power. We take the orchestration component that my colleagues mentioned already and use it for news to streamline workflows, to avoid human errors. And like this, we gain a lot of speed so that you have a high-speed newsroom that allows your journalists to produce stories with emotion and quality. And then business efficiency. Due to the orchestration that I was mentioning before, we look at places where can we avoid rework, and we reduce it. We reduce human errors, and all the repetitive parts of the workflow we automate. And like this, we free up precious space for your users, for the journalists, so that they can focus on the story and deliver faster. And we have monitoring tools that continuously check this efficiency, and we improve where needed, because the newsrooms of today and in the future run on tighter and tighter budgets, so we cannot ignore this. Dalet Galaxy calls this solution unifying news operations. What do we mean by this term? We mean that it is basically 2 tool sets in one. One tool set is the NRCS toolset, the newsroom computer system. That means rundown management, script writing, planning, timing management, agencies. And on the other hand, you have the NPS toolset, news production toolset. That means ingest, video editing, audio editing, media management, media genealogy, the integration of NLEs so that they are like Adobe Premiere and Avid Media Composer, so that they're like clients to our system. Distribution and playout, all in one system. And then underlying, we have our platform that provides a central content catalog that is accessible from everybody from anywhere. And we exploit from this platform power the orchestration to streamline workflows, and the AI with the media cortex that my colleagues mentioned already to assist in the daily tasks for the journalists. With this platform, the users can produce, distribute, and play out stories to any kind of outlet, be it the traditional ones, be it social media, and it's easy to adapt and add new platforms as the needs appear. It scales into 3 dimensions. First, it scales in regard of workflows. So we can go from a simple, compact, local station workflow to the editorially more demanding prime news workflows. Then architecturally, we can scale up from single-site solution to geographically dispersed multi-site solutions. And then, due to the adaptability and openness of the Dalet solution, we can either provide an end-to-end Dalet solution, or we can integrate very well with existing components where you say that is a given, that this part you cannot take, so you must make a good integration with it. So these are the scalability aspects. I want to show you now a short video, 3 minutes, from CNN Money. They are located in Zurich and Geneva, Switzerland, that recently installed the Dalet solution, and then I will highlight a couple of other aspects. So let's have the video, please, Robin.
I don't think that you really launch television channels anymore. You launch multimedia platforms that need to address all the different type of platforms at the same time, and to be sure that you can reach the target audience. It's the first time ever that we're producing a national channel or media in English. There's none that exists, and especially none that exists that speaks about business and finance. We needed to have a very high quality that matches CNN standards and practices around the world. So we needed to have top state-of-the-art type of technology to run that, not just in production, but also in broadcasting and distribution. And we thought from start that Dalet was the perfect solution for that.
The main goal for us using Dalet from the start was simplicity. We're a very small team. We have to make sure that everybody can do pretty much everything from start to finish to be able to put the product on air and not having to use too much help from other people.
What I like with using Dalet Galaxy is that I can have a full and complete control on my story, my package. From editing, picking the right video, the right images, writing the script. I do everything from A to Z, so that means that I have the full power and the full control of what I'm producing.
We have 2 bureaus, one in Zurich and one in Geneva, and they're both working on the same system. And in that regard, Dalet is very good in bringing us together. So we can work on the same projects, we can work on the same stories, and it doesn't really matter where you are, as long as you're connected to Dalet, also through the web version. We're pretty much working as if we were working in one editorial room, which for me is very important.
Dalet was amazing. They came in and showed us not just how to use Dalet, but they also showed us, everything about how to build great news. Everything that is around it kind of pushes a more creative way and a more efficient and concise way to create that news.
Whatever you do for broadcast is not exactly what you do for digital or for social media. So we have to adjust and we have to customize our content. With the help of Cube Graphics, for example, we can use it for both platforms. So whenever we have a story that we want to put on broadcast, it doesn't take a lot to actually adjust it and customize it for digital as well.
We made a choice pretty late in the process, which was basically beginning of the summer of 2017, and we needed then to launch in October. So people looked at us and said, oh, this is never going to happen. I mean, guys, usually you need a year to do something correctly. The people from Dalet came in and said, okay, fine, we'll do it. It was a very, very short time to be able to design the whole system, to be sure that it was understood what we were going to do. And to be very honest, they made an amazing work to be able to reach the target line. I must say that not a lot of technical systems are delivered in such a professional way when you have so much constraints on the time level. We felt very closely that the team is a big, big part of the success of Dalet, is being able to have people who actually train you, understand where we stand, understand the problems we meet, and we have a system that enables us to do everything from the same position.
So thank you for the video. So now we look into a couple of aspects, and I want to begin with what we call the social media newsroom. Why is social media one of the biggest headaches today for news organizations? Well, in the old days, we all knew television is the main consumption behavior for news. But now that changed dramatically since a couple of years. The millennial generation, they don't turn on the TV anymore. They consume their news directly from social media. They don't even like to click on the web articles. The news has to be in social media. That's how they want it. And this is a challenge. And so it is, you can compare it to the step back then from analog to digital, but it's not only a technical challenge, that's actually doable, it's also an editorial challenge, because you edit differently, you don't work against a certain broadcast at a certain time. So we at Dalet say social media is not just a distribution problem, it is an end-to-end news process problem. Well, and actually it is an opportunity, as I try to point out in the next slides, that need to be addressed in a holistic manner. So you saw this before, we provide tools to harvest, to produce, to publish, and the next slide shows what we mean unifying a social newsroom with a traditional newsroom. Let's say a tweet arrives, plane crashes in the river, we decide to cover that. We have to go out immediately on Facebook and Twitter because we have to be quick out. We cannot wait until the 6 p.m. broadcast. Then finally, when the 6 p.m. comes, we do a voiceover, we do a radio interview. Yes, we make this web article, but then more people dead, we run updates, a new angle arrives, maybe the pilot was drunk. We repeat the entire thing now with this new angle and so forth. And now that's the interesting aspect of it. We have resonance control thanks to the social media framework. The journalists, they can slide to the story and say, how did my story perform on the social media market? Because we immediately can take all the likes and the comments and the activity and cumulate it to that central story so the journalists understand there we really triggered a good resonance. There we did not trigger a good resonance. That's all immediate. No one needs to wait for anything. So the social media newsroom, a look at functionality a little bit. It has workflow tools like scheduling posts at certain times, submitting posts for approval if you need this kind of workflow, and so forth. And media is inserted very easily. You drag and drop images, videos, because the media is inside our media-aware newsroom in Dalet. Of course, you can also insert CDN media URLs if that's your workflow, and you can burn specific graphics into the videos and so forth. So you come to the booth and you see it more in detail because these things are a little bit small. A quick say about the orchestrated newsroom, one of the most important aspects, but a little bit difficult maybe to understand. That's why we put it up here like, why orchestration in news? So we give here 3 answers. We want to automate multi-platform distribution tasks, because if you do them manually or with a little bit from the older systems here, a little bit there, it's consuming much more time and is more error prone. We streamline complex workflows. We make something complex simple. The editorial team, they just make one click and we keep the complexity under the hood. They don't care about it, they make the one click and then the stuff is done behind there and is monitored. We avoid human errors like this. On the right side, you see 4 customer samples, what news customers do with our orchestration. So we do smart social media publishing with inserting special graphics. We do, for example, multi-language story assignment, which can be complicated. We do collaboration containers for large teams. Or we do actually our integrations with resource management, enabling it with orchestration. A word about team collaboration, the collaborative newsroom. On top, you see a screenshot of the new media bin that we launched this NAB. It is a collaboration bin for all users to efficiently contribute material to the story. So come to the booth and have a look at it. And then, as I mentioned before, the newsroom chat, where you can share those media collections that I just showed up front You can share entire rundowns or any newsroom object, and we keep a history of the chat room so that you understand what was the thread around the story, what did we discuss back then. It's also important to mention that Dalet has, in its notion of collaboration, 3 video editing approaches. There is the simple web editing called Storyboarder, web-based. Then there is the stationary Dalet OneCut that is available as standalone or embedded in the main product that allows you to do quickly voiceovers and packages. It's a news video editor. And then Dalet Extend, which reaches out to our partner NLEs like Adobe Premiere or Avid Media Composer to include those craft editors as if they were clients of our system. They see our content catalog, they understand our EDLs, they respect and support our media genealogy. That's actually especially true with Adobe Premiere. It's not to that extent with Avid, because it's a little bit more closed. Now, a lot of my colleagues talked about artificial intelligence. I want to put the focus here not on the technology and not on the fascination about artificial intelligence. I want to put the focus only on the hard task. Where can it help the daily task of a journalist, which is not so easy. So that's the focus, and I picked here on 2 of those topics where we believe we can help in the daily tasks of the journalists. There is the auto-tagging and discovery. Journalists are lazy, in quotations. They don't want to tag their stories. No one wants to tag videos, audio, sound bites. But without intelligent tags, all these assets, the scripts, the media, is not discoverable. And so we use AI, we use our Media Cortex framework to automatically, intelligently tag every asset, even CGs, PDFs, because it's a multimedia platform. Everything is intelligently tagged automatically using AI, and the tags are scored. And because of this, we have a tool called Discovery Board that then brings to surface for the journalist recommendations. So he's basically writing a story, and while he's writing, every time he saves, we quickly run this tagging, and then if he runs the tool, we say, oh, in the archive we found those 3 videos that are dealing with your topic, and the ingest people, they ingested that, and that's fitting also your topic. Are you interested to look at it? So that's this tool, and you can see it at the show floor. And at the bottom, we have another tool that I call here Deep Keyword Navigation. This is a tool that works for videos and for stories, and you can also see it at the show floor. There we look for special keywords called entity keywords like locations, persons, organizations. And then when you double-click on it, a deep information metadata set is unearthed. So a simple sample is we look into Wikipedia or bring up a map, whatever you connect with it, as a research help for the journalist. Look at it at the booth, and I have a mini video to show this, 1 minute 30, and then I do the wrap-up, and we're done and move on.
Introducing Dalet Content Discovery. Let's take the example of how it works in the newsroom. As I type my story, a combination of cognitive services automatically tag the content and recognize named entities, be it people, places, organizations, or events. Not only that, to help me research content further, Smart Metadata shows me links to related web pages. For video assets, Dalet Galaxy 5 will show you web links related to keywords extracted from a speech-to-text service. The Dalet Content Discovery Board shows us everything in the system that has matching tags, be it ingesting or archive videos, stories, planning events, audio, and contacts, within a specific date range, of course. Since there are a lot of related assets, you will want to select the ones that are most relevant to your work. To do this, simply drag and drop them in the selected research area. You can then easily work with them directly by opening them from the Discovery Board. These selections are also shared with other people in your group. To refine my discovery further, I can filter only the types of content needed, such as videos and contacts, and more so, filter based on the station or group that produced the content. The bottom part of the Dalet Discovery Board shows me the content published already, be it for television or radio broadcast, social media posts, or for websites. The Dalet Content Discovery Board is the first of a new generation of smart assistants. Leveraging the Dalet Galaxy 5 AI framework, it opens up a new era of augmented editorial and content creation experiences.
I want to bring to your attention that the Galaxy 5 is not just a newsroom, it is more than just a newsroom. It is a traditional deep functionality newsroom. I didn't stress the deep functionality a lot, but we continuously curate to have a deep functionality. That basically means NRCS, news production, playout and distribution, all in one platform. But then, in addition to this, we have the orchestrated newsroom, which is perhaps the most second important part here, because that is the one, when you look at this closer, it gives you as a station, as a customer, the control about your complex workflows. You own these workflows then, because you can modify them, you can set them up once you understand them, you can monitor them, they are your workflows. You don't have to call up the provider all the time to add more workflows. Then, okay, multi-platform distribution, complex made simple. Then the collaborative newsroom, connecting teams and locations all the way to the field. The social newsroom that we mentioned a lot, harvest, produce, publish. The journalist is in control. He doesn't have to say, do I have to bring you a donut and a coffee? Can you publish this for me? Can you please bring me this media to my place? I really need to publish it. Think about all of this, what it brings in regard of speed. Of course, it's upsetting the workflows a little bit to do it directly. And finally, the AI augmented newsroom assists the journalist. We have to discard all AI activity that is not bringing benefit. We have to really look what is bringing help for the daily tasks of the journalists. So we do this with the discovery board, with the recommendations, and with the video indexing tools that you saw. So that's it. Fine, fine. Okay. See you.